Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Realm of Nightmares. In part 1, we got down to business in the Lighthouse Project, got up to day 9. Now we finish it. Welcome back to the Lighthouse Project. Will we go crazy, or stay completely sane, trapped in the same dark room? That is up for you to decide. Jot that down. Day 9. 4/9/16. Audio log. 218 hours inside. I don't want to see these four walls anymore. Every crack, every ancient smudge is leaving a permanent stain on my memory. Is this what you had to see? Is this the hell you lived in? Most likely referring to his twin. I don't want to sleep in these greasy sheets. I don't want to eat this dry, tasteless food, drying like sawdust on my tongue. Here is where I'll die. Not even God will hear me out there. It's back. That pressure I felt before, drilling right into my temple. It's been coming back ever more frequently lately. Sometimes I think the walls are moving. When I close my eyes, it feels like I'm underwater, traversing invisible depths no one cares about. This room sinking further now and then. Sooner or later, it's going to crush me. Day 9. 4/9/16. Audio log. 224 hours inside. I need to move. Walk around while there's these bowels in my legs starting to swell up from not moving. It's like hell. Damn. I need to stretch them, but I can't. I can't leave the bed. I can't because I don't want to. Whenever I start to stand, a bad feeling gnaws at me, like an overwhelming premonition. Whatever it is, don't move. For the love of God, don't move. Something is at risk of being stimulated. The pressure is worse than ever. It isn't leaving this time. Even the air feels different. Every breath leaves an acrid taste in the back of my throat, as though I'm sharing the air with a different mouth. Even with his growing protests to leave the confines of his bed, Guy finally succumbs to the stabbing pangs of hunger. He crawls cautiously out of the bed and swiftly moves to his supplies. As he reaches for one of the packets, he immediately jolts and stops. Winding around in a flurry, he retreats to his bed and grabs the recorder. Day 9. 4/9/16. Audio log. 230 hours inside. Gone. Torn to bits. My food. I can't. I don't. What happened? Guy has discovered that 5 of his once sealed food rations are torn to shreds, not open. The flexible pouched packaging gutted by some unthinkable means. With the lack of any footage, the researchers deduced that mice were the most likely culprits, if one had found its way inside. What was to stop more from sneaking in and raiding the unguarded stash? Although it is unexpected, there's still plenty of food left untouched to make do until the experiment's final day. A day Guy's Riddle mind has transfigured into fiction by now. He's already withered, nerves are short, so Guy's refusal to leave the safe boundary of his bed is only magnified. The soft light draped over the table is not providing even a sliver of comfort. Unsurprisingly, he can no longer fall asleep. Sometime later, between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m., a scream resounds in the chamber. The cameras reveal Guy scrambling backwards, pressing the small of his back firmly against the wall, with his eyes bulging and his fingers hooked into his chest. Day 10. 4/10/16. Audio log. 240 hours inside. Just now, right at the edge of my bed. Oh God! I heard something. It sounded like movement. Something rustling around. Then a growl. A horrible growl. I'm not hallucinating. I know I'm not. That there was a growl. The air is thick. There's potent, rotten taste in my mouth. Something was there. Something was watching me. The captured audio does not interpret Guy's growl, but the feed does suffer a few stuttering distortions in particular places. The next sluggish roll of hours passes. Guy complains frequently about the growing sickness he feels. The increasing hidden pressures, the thickening rot in the air. The tension builds until his body ultimately demands to purge himself. He gags, covers his mouth, and then recklessly bolts to the toilet. When the vomiting sound stops and the shaking in his leg ceases, he finds the strength to stand up and return to the safety net of his bed. Suddenly he stops. The already fleeting color drains from his face. His hands quiver nervously, pinned to his sides. The lingering thread of bile runs down his chin. The team begins to worry. Is he having some sort of stroke? Luckily, his motor skills return to him. As he falls backwards in a series of chaotic steps and collapses, the opposite unlit corner of the room, he sits there for some time, eventually searches for his device and presses a trembling finger on record. Day 10, 4/10/16. Audio log. 245 hours inside. I'm not alone. There is something here. I felt it just now. Standing a few inches from me. Why? I see nothing. But it was there. Looming over me. Waiting for me. Adopting the shaded corner as his newfound security, Guy does not return to his bed or the light blanketing it. Even as the bulb alternates the different colors, none of them spur a different reaction. He merely sits there, staring into unoccupied spaces and craning his neck, as though seeing something. Day 11. 4/11/16. Audio log. 265 hours inside. I saw a mouse under the bed, picking up at one of the scraps I had left. Then it started screaming and squirming all over the place. Blotches of blood were left wherever it rolled. Then it stopped and started to float, as though it were caught in something's invisible jaws, digging into it, opening it up. Entrails dangling like wet ribbons. I am not safe. Day 11. 4/11/16. Audio log. 273 hours inside. I know how they're getting in. Small spaces in the room. I want to call them pockets. They squeeze their way in, and the horrible stench returns. They squeeze their way out. I think I know where the pockets are too. One on the ceiling, one under the bed, one on the left wall. They're everywhere, getting more and more numerous, getting louder. Clack, 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 clack. I lost count of how many now. I have to stay away from the light. It will only make me easier prey. Please, if you can hear me, turn off the light. The visual hallucinations haunting him only grow worse from there. Every audio log received grows primarily more fearful about the unseen things coming in and out of the room. While there are no remains of a mutilated rodent found under the bed, the signs of discoloring on the floor are present. Despite the 3 hellish days he has spent in the dense, unlit Vale, Guy refuses to leave the shelter of the corner. The light, which had previously hoisted his sanity back, was now what he avoided. What should have nullified the other appearances, to only intensify it now? As though summoned by misfortune, the researchers faced an anomaly they did not prepare for. Both of the cameras and Guy's recorder begin to malfunction. The stuttering audio distortions from earlier worsen. What sound does manage to leak out of Guy's device is corrupted with hisses of static and delays. Unable to fix the issue, they are forced to make a decision: end the experiment early and collect the accumulated data, or follow Guy's original instructions and proceed to the final day. With 2 in favor of continuing, Westbrook and Rexford, and 1 opposed, Wick. The decision made to endure until the 14th day, even if the audio is no longer functional there, is still plenty of visual input to extract. Guy's mannerisms only continue to deteriorate. He no longer sleeps or forms an effort to reach the food and water, let alone to even use the bathroom. Instead, he takes urinating and defecating in the opposite ill-lit corner. Piles and pools of his excrement gather there like the accumulating waste of a caged animal. Things were bad. Rexford shares from the following interview. We honestly should have stopped and packed everything up then and there. But we had precise instructions to see it to the end. There was one night Victoria and I were working together. I remember stepping out to get some fresh air and coming back to her gasping, her hand cupped over her mouth in shock. I quickly checked the cameras and saw exactly what horrified her. Guy was digging into his excrement and smearing it over the wall. At first I thought it was nothing but a smothered mess of unintelligible garble. Then I saw exactly what he was writing. They, everywhere, turn off, light. After that, Victoria wanted nothing further to do with the experiments. She told us she was done being party to torture. Westbrook was also losing the amount of time he could give, so things mostly fell on my shoulders. I didn't mind it much. I wanted to be involved. I wanted more than anything to see the success of the experiment. With 2 days left of Guy's confinement, Rexford takes it onto himself to make the final push. I was trying to think of a way to ease him back into the light, so I thought of a plan. Little by little, I was going to amp the lantern's voltage until the room was nothing but light. No more dark corners for him to hide in. To set his plan in motion, Rexford starts by amplifying the soft blue hue within the room. The lights begin to lick up the walls and climb over the bed. Guy quickly takes notice and noticeably shrinks further back. He tries to protest vainly, according to recording of garbled feedback. Day 13. 4, 13, 16. Audio log. 315 hours and... Stop! Listening. A will be off light. A will find me. Ignoring Guy's clear objection, Rexford shines a light. Sorry, let me start that. Ignoring Guy's clear objection, Rexford shines a light more strongly as it inches closer, burning away the shadowy blanket of Guy's position. In a desperate animalistic effort, Guy resorts to slamming his fist against the locked door, clawing at it fruitlessly. Simultaneously, as the last shade of his protective layer evaporates away, Guy makes a mad dash towards the lantern. With a desperate flail of his fist, he punches it, shattering the bulb in an eruption of glass, like an aerial fireworks shell. As the darkness once again overlaps the room with the adrenaline still racing through his system, he grabs handfuls of broken shards, shoves them into his mouth. The corrupted bits of audio capture the sound of sharp bits breaking between his teeth. Rexford immediately abandons his post and rushes for the chamber. He opens the door to find a room with protein-stained bedsheets, hieroglyphic feces on the wall, and their test subject collapsed over the table. The smell took me out of it. An amalgam of different odors, composites of sweat, urine, feces, blood, rotting and other questionable smells I don't care to describe. I tried to block it out. The last thing I wanted to do was to vomit as I pulled him out of there. He was stuttering something to me, was spitting out globs of blood and broken glass. Something about his back burning? When I checked it for him, I had no idea what I was even looking at. Bruises. Hand-shaped bruises all over him. Wednesday, April 13th. At approximately 9:05 p.m., Guy is taken to Nassau University Medical Center, where he received several stitches for his hands, and also the loose flaps of tissue in his mouth. He is constipated, running a fever, severely dehydrated, and malnourished. When examining the peculiar bruises lining his spine, Dr. Marion Cobb asks if Guy has been assaulted. When told no, he shares his thoughts. In Vietnam, we refer to unexplained bruises as ghost wounds. Why was that weird with that it could run the risk of an underlying medical problem, or even irritating The reporter added, from what I could see of Mr. Blank, he looked very tired. His eyes were sunken. His skin was pale, like the pigment was being separated. He used the description of the experiment as an effort to diminish the harrowing effects of solitary confinement. what time I believed that what I saw I might have to check out his website after, because if he continues writing stuff like this, I might have to dip into the well again. Thank you for watching The Realm of Nightmares. I'm King Beanie, and I'm signing out.